I made a quiz about the world's languages based on the research from Ethnologue. It's a pretty hard quiz, but I challenge you to get at least half of them right, okay? Good luck! 1. How many languages are there in the world today? Over 3,000, over 5,000, over 7,000, over 9,000. Over 7,000. Two. Of these 7,124 languages, how many are endangered? Over 1,000, over 2,000, over 3,000, over 4,000. Over 3,000. 3. Which language has the most native speakers worldwide? Spanish, English, Hindi, Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin Chinese. 4. Which language has the most users, native and non-native combined? Spanish, English, Hindi, Mandarin Chinese. English. 5. Which language of these 4 has the most number of users? French, Standard Arabic, Bengali, Portuguese. French. 6. Which country has the largest number of languages? Papua New Guinea, India, Nigeria, Indonesia. Papua New Guinea. 7. How many languages currently exist in the United States? 155, 255, 355, 455. 355. 8. How many languages in the United States are indigenous? 77, 117, 157, 197. 197. 9. Which continent has the most indigenous languages? North America, South America, Africa, Asia. Asia. 10. How many different language families exist in the world? 42, 142, 342, 542. 142. 11. English is part of the Indo-European family. How many languages are in this family? 54, 254, 454, 654. 454. 12. How many sign languages are there in the world today? 58, 158, 588, 1,588. 158. 13. Esperanto is the only constructed language now widely used. Where did this language originate? Poland, Bulgaria, Romania, Turkey. Poland. 14. The top 200 most spoken languages out of 7,124 account for what percentage of the world's population? 68%, 78%, 88%, 98%. 88%. 15. How many of the world's languages have less than 1,000 speakers? 46, 446, 1,446, 4,446. 1,446. 16. How many of the world's languages have less than 100 speakers? 142, 242, 342, 442. 442. 17. How many of the world's languages have less than 10 speakers? 17, 47, 77, 117. 117. 18. How many languages does Ethnologue classify as extinct? 248, 448, 648, 848. 448. 19. Of the world's 7,124 languages, how many don't have a writing system? Nearly 1,000, nearly 2,000, nearly 3,000, nearly 4,000. Nearly 3,000. 20. What percentage of the world's population is literate? 66%, 76%, 86%, 96%. 86%. So how did you do? If you got at least half of them right, congratulations. And if you enjoyed this quiz and want me to make more quizzes, let me know by liking this video and leaving a comment below. Thanks.